presented at length after my intervention, but here including events.
So the presentation today was the African launch of the Global Terrorism Index by the Institute for Economics and Peace. The main global finding is the number of deaths through terrorism was down 1.2%, down to roughly 7,100 deaths. However, there was an increase of 17% in the number of attacks globally. Now, if we drop down to this further, 48% of all the deaths through terrorism happened in sub-Saharan Africa. But of that, the major amount was actually in the Sahel. So within the Sahel, 43% of all deaths from terrorism globally occurred in the Sahel. But there's good news as well. What we can find is the country with the biggest improvement in terrorism was actually in Mozambique, where the number of deaths from terrorism dropped by 82%. So in many ways, the Sahel is the epicenter now of global terrorism. But if we look at the other parts of Africa, then the terrorism is quite minute. So when we look today, there are a number of major ecological threats in sub-Saharan Africa. And so obviously, which everyone knows, there's a lack of water, which then leads to a lack of food. In fact, 67% of sub-Saharan Africa, you find people are food insecure. Now, what's going to happen with the climate change as we move forward, that's going to aggravate all these existing issues as well. So what I would say is that we need the global action on climate change, but the big things there are outside of Africa. However, for Africa, the areas where it needs to focus is on better collection of water, better production of food, and above all, better family planning. Because if we look at the growth rates for sub-Saharan Africa, it's expected to increase in the next 30 years by over 90%.